Boogie2988, aka Steven Williams, used to be one of YouTube's safest creators, the Mr. Rogers of the internet, the wholesome, overweight gamer who made millions of people feel seen, made fun of himself before anyone else could, and somehow turned vulnerability into a career. And for years, it worked. But then the mask slipped. And once it slipped, it never stopped falling. This is the disturbing downfall of Boogie2988. Back in the early YouTube era, Boogie was the perfect fit. The platform was homemade vlogs, skits, and personality-driven creators, and Boogie's entire brand was personality. He wasn't trying to be cool. He wasn't trying to flex. He was the guy who openly admitted his flaws, laughed at his own insecurities, and somehow made it feel like that was a strength. He had the Fat Francis character for rage comedy, but outside of that, he built a reputation on being gentle, honest, and weirdly comforting. And what made him stand out even more was how he talked about money. While other YouTubers played mysterious billionaire, Boogie would explain finances like he was giving you life advice. He made it sound like he was careful, responsible, and grateful. The kind of creator your parents wouldn't mind you watching. Then the success hit. Twitch income, Patreon, brand deals. In 2016, he wins a massive public validation by being named Trending Gamer at the Game Awards. By 2017, he's passed 4 million subscribers and even gets weight loss surgery, something his audience had emotionally invested in for years. But that surgery didn't just change his body, it changed his entire life. Not long after, Boogie announces his divorce. He tries to frame it calmly, like two adults separating peacefully, but you can see the shift immediately. The tone, the energy, the desperation.
So sorry to do this, but this is how it has to be. I've got people who need me. I got shit I gotta do. I'm sorry.
And then came the first real turning point, the mega thread era. A long Reddit compilation calling him out for hypocrisy, weird statements, ugly behavior on stream. The important part is this. If Boogie had ignored it, it probably would have stayed niche. But Boogie couldn't ignore it. He went to war with it. He broadcast it. He ranted about it. Suddenly, his comments weren't supportive anymore. They were angry, mocking, disgusted. And that old Mr. Rogers image started rotting in public. Around this same period, Boogie's personal life choices started pouring gasoline on the fire. The most infamous example was his relationship with a much younger woman he met through Seeking. Boogie initially denied it, then evidence surfaced. Every time he lies, he does it like he still thinks the internet is 2009. Like receipts don't exist. Like people won't clip it. Then comes the money spiral, which is where Boogie's downfall becomes less sad YouTuber losing relevance, and more watching someone self-destruct in slow motion. He buys a Tesla he can't afford, then turning around and basically telling viewers to help pay for it. Then the situation gets darker, because Boogie's drama stops being purely online. In the Frank Hassel situation, a harassment feud escalates into an incident where Boogie fires a gun during a confrontation outside his home.
Is this what we have to do?
It's not a YouTube controversy. It's a real-world decision with real consequences, and it leads to legal trouble. After that, Boogie does what Boogie always does. He tries to rewrite the story into a comeback arc. And for a moment, crypto becomes that arc. He posts about being rich, talks like he made a genius investment, implies he's finally stable again. And then, like clockwork, it collapses. He wasn't just failing. He was contradicting the entire persona that made people love him. And then 2023 pours concrete on the grave. Mike Klum releases a documentary about Boogie, and it does what documentaries do best. It shows the behind-the-scenes version of someone who can't hide anymore. The doc popularizes some of the most brutal claims about Boogie's spending and behavior, including admissions and accounts that turn him from sad, troubled guy into guy who made choices that don't match his sympathy narrative. It's the moment a lot of casual fans stop defending him, because it becomes harder to frame this as bad luck. Then comes LolCow Live, which is basically Boogie's career turned into a public humiliation treadmill. The show gives him visibility and money, but it also turns him into entertainment for the exact crowd that wants him embarrassed. And here's the problem. Boogie doesn't learn from embarrassment. He adapts to it. He starts leaning into the chaos because outrage is the last thing that still pays, and that leads directly to the moment that detonated whatever was left, the 2024 fatty meme coin situation. Boogie promotes a crypto token, it spikes, then crashes hard, and scam investigator CoffeeZilla interviews him about it. During that whole saga, Boogie admits he took money to promote it and tries to frame it as a joke, a meme, not something people were supposed to take seriously. But crypto doesn't work like that. You don't get to say it's comedy after people lose money. And the internet, already exhausted by years of Boogie excuses, treats it like the final proof that he'll do anything for cash. But somehow, it gets even worse. Because right after the coin controversy, Boogie's long-running medical narrative becomes the next battleground. On Lolcow Live, Destiny confronts him over the specifics of his claimed diagnosis and demands documentation. The moment becomes viral, not just because of the accusation, but because of the contradiction. Boogie is willing to promote a risky coin to strangers for money, but refuses to show basic proof when offered a huge amount of financial help tied directly to his medical situation. And whether you think he owed anyone records or not, that's the kind of optics that kills you online. Boogie built a brand on oversharing. The second he draws a privacy line only when the receipts matter, it looks like a lie. From that point on, the comments shift from, "I miss old Boogie" to, "This is who he always was." And that's the true downfall. Not the divorce, not the Tesla, not the gun incident, not even the crypto. The real downfall is that the internet stopped believing he was a good faith person making mistakes. They started believing the mistakes were the point, that the sympathy was the product, that the crisis was the business model. And in the most Boogie ending imaginable, even his attempts at accountability get turned into content. Because when your entire identity is public collapse, the line between punishment and marketing disappears. Boogie2988 didn't just lose subscribers. He lost the one thing that made him untouchable for years, the assumption that he meant well. And once the internet decides you're not just flawed, but manipulative, every apology becomes another clip. Every explanation becomes another contradiction. Every comeback attempt becomes another season of the same show. Because the cruelest part of Boogie's story is this: he could have just been a messy YouTuber who fell off. Instead, he became a case study in what happens when your entire career is built on being the honest guy. And the internet catches you lying one too many times.